During Booker's sermon today, I got a memory of a word that Brian from Africa gave me in 2018, right after my spinal cord surgery. He said he had a word for me and he felt like God wanted me to know that He is the God of the process and that only He knows the time frame. And what He wanted from me was that He wanted me every time, either out loud or in my heart, to say, standing on the Word of God every single time I stood up. After the sermon and everything, I got a call from Wendy, and we started talking about the sermon and everything, and what I told her about the word I got from Brian that time. And one thing led to another, and we were talking about God of the process and how she's had some stuff go on where she had to wait, and God was like giving her, God of the process and everything, and what that looked like, and the step by steps. And she asked me if there was any obedience that I was needing to take that God was telling me. And I said, well, I need to write my book about Mom, and I said I was going to get his room ready, and I've been putting it off. But also he says, you know my character. You know who I am. You know I'm a God. And we started talking about how God is a God of order. And I'm like, yeah, God's a God of order. And I'm like, it's funny that we're talking about this. This is what I told Wendy. Because it's like, God's a God of order. But what we read in the 1 year today in the book of Exodus is the fact that the Shekinah glory, God did not come into the tabernacle until everything was in place, in order, even down to the little stones on the priestly garments, and the pegs in the wall, and this everything, even down to the little pegs, and the things to hang up the curtains. God's a God of order, and He had to have order in His house before He would show up. Even back then, even back then, God didn't come down into the tabernacle. Shekinah glory did not come into the tabernacle until everything was in place, even down to the little bitty pegs. Everything had to be in place in a certain way. God says, okay, the table goes here, the water bowl goes here, the Ark of the Covenant goes here, the curtain go here, the peg goes here, the stones go here. The stone goes, all the 12 stones, in this order and in these type of rows. The pegs had to be in a certain, this cubit away, these many cubits away from each other. And until all that was done, God did not come into the tabernacle. God is a God of order, and He's not going to come in until then. And as I was talking to Wendy, before I had the revelation, God asked me, it's like, is the room that you're moving to making the quiet room, is it me yet? Is it me? Is it my character? Is it the way I am? Is it a place of order? Is it the tabernacle? And I have to be honest, no, it's not. So again, in the book of Exodus, in the 35th chapter, I think, the 38th chapter, God's a God of order. He did not show up into the tabernacle until everything was in place. The bowls had to be there so many cubits away from the veil. The Ark of the Covenant had to be placed in a certain place in the Holy of Holies. The pegs had to be put in a certain place and also have so many cubits away from each other. And so did the curtains that divided each room. Had to have a certain amount of space in between. So God's a God of order, and I do apologize to God right now for not making his room a room of order. Daddy, I need you to do the step by step for me. Your daughter's not good at this.